welcome to welcome to the world of journalism, all the students of journalism, and you're entering this field in this world of journalism at a time when we are being questioned from all over. We are being questioned on our neutrality, objectivity, on our impartiality, and I would say even our credibility is also in question. So even last evening only, there were at least 5 questions raised in the parliament on the possible corporate takeover um, of media. I think students of journalism are aware that there is a one big media house, corporate house, which has taken over the biggest media network of this country. So, well, yes, we need salaries to run ourselves, to run our houses. We need to have a career. But I think I would say that we are absolutely different from being, say, an engineer, a doctor, a teacher. This is not to say that I'm trying to undermine other professions or people belonging to other fields. But all I'm trying to say is that to be a journalist, you don't really need a certificate to say that, okay, I have this, and that is why I should be called a journalist. Journalism is actually a temperament. Suppose if I would say about myself that if I was not a journalist, what else would I have been? Nothing. No one. No. I think I'm born to be a journalist. So this is that kind of temperament that you need to be a journalist. So why I am saying this, why I'm going back to the roots and trying to re-evaluate what it means to be a journalist today, and especially, I would say that India is going through a phase of transition in terms of political transition, in terms of social transition, in terms of economical transition, and probably the same thing is uh, being reflected in journalism and journalists. So when I say welcome to this world, welcome to journalism, I also want to make you aware of the challenges you will have. You will have to prove once again to your people in India and abroad that journalism in India is objective, neutral, credible. You can believe us. Whatever we are saying is right, is the truth. So before entering journalism, TV journalism, or print journalism, radio journalism, online journalism, you must have been a viewer, a reader. All of you are, right? You must have been watching television, your daily dose of news, and must be reading newspapers. Do you believe us, the journalist, exactly the same which you used to, say, 5 years ago? Is it a yes or no? Do you believe us exactly the same as you used to 5 years ago? Yes or no? That's sad. That is sad. So that's why I'm saying that from being a reader to viewer, now you are the active player. Now you have to turn this no into a yes. I know this transition and this loss of faith has not occurred in a day. It has taken us a few years. It has taken us probably, uh, I would say, a few years, yes. From being the most credible people to now being close to incredible. But there are still journalists, there are still people in the industry who would give away anything, who would sacrifice anything to tell you that story, to tell you the truth, to tell you something which is important for you to know, which is important for this country to survive. Because for us, I would say that if a doctor is dishonest, what does he do? That he can actually, if I go to the extreme, then he can actually take away one life. If a civil engineer is dishonest, if he builds a building, that will collapse, and a few dozen people might die. A building would collapse. But if a journalist is dishonest, the consequences are going to be really, really serious, dangerous. This is going to cost us something which we have built over last 6 decades or so. So for us, it's very, very important that we tell the truth. And not just tell the truth, but also be able to see things which are not so obvious. Because the duty of a journalist, I mean, who should be a journalist? If there are 10 students here, and if you ask me that if I'm saying that a journalist is born, then how many of those 10 students should become journalists? I think the first quality of a journalist should be curiosity. Curiosity. The second quality of a journalist, of a normal person who wants to become a journalist, should be storytelling. That if you know something, you should be able to successfully communicate it to the people. Because if you know it and you don't know how to tell it to people, so no matter what amount of information you have, if you are not a good communicator, you cannot communicate it. And the third thing would be to know and to have the art of knowing the not so obvious. Suppose if I read the headlines in a newspaper today, I should be able to decipher, to know what exactly this development means. So since it's going to be your first few days in the university, and you're still trying to figure out what journalism is, why I have taken admission in this course, what exactly I would become after, say, for people who are entering into undergraduation for 3 years, for masters 2 years. I think it's an ongoing thing. After spending 14, 15 years in this field, I'm still trying to figure out, I'm still trying to learn each passing day why I am here, what exactly I should be telling people. So this is something, I have a kind of feel where every day excites me. No single day is the same. Believe me, every day is an exciting day. But this comes when you start eating news, drinking news, sleeping news, living news. जब आपकी पूरी जो एक पर्सनैलिटी है, पूरी जो आपकी शख्सियत है, जब वो खबर में आप ओढ़ लेते हैं, तब आप एक पत्रकार बनते हैं. तो याद रखिए कि ये आपके लिए नौकरी पाने का एक अच्छा जरिया है, that you get a certificate from the university. But every day of your university day and afterwards is going to be a learning day. So today, I want all of you, all of journalism students, to promise to themselves that they pledge that they will remain neutral, objective, and try and bring back that credibility which made me earlier a proud journalist and now probably a confused journalist, who still believe in some people who are working really, really tirelessly. There are still dozens and dozens of journalists who are whose professional credibility cannot be bought. वो अभी भी बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं, दर्जनों ऐसे हैं जिनको नहीं खरीदा जा सकता. लेकिन आप लोगों के लिए ये ज़रूर एक करियर का तरीका ज़रूर है. लेकिन मैं ये नहीं कहूँगी कि पहले मिशन होता था जर्नलिज्म, अब प्रोफेशन होता है. कम से कम इसे मिशन ना भी अगर आप बनाएं तो सिर्फ प्योरली प्रोफेशन भी ना रहने दीजिए. तो सबसे पहले अपने अंदर जो आपको डेवलप करना है वो है क्यूरोसिटी. मुझे सिर्फ यही नहीं जानना है कि इंडिया में क्या हो रहा है, मेरे स्टेट में क्या हो रहा है, मुझे ये भी जानना है कि मेरे इर्द गिर्द क्या हो रहा है. कल ही मैं पढ़ी थी एक फिलोसोफर का कोट. उन्होंने लिखा था कि एक्चुअली व्हेन यू गो आउट ऑफ योर क्लास, कास्ट, रिलीजन, नेशनैलिटी, देन यू गेट टू नो व्हाट ह्यूमैनिटी इज. अगर आप अपने ही जैसे लोगों के साथ आसपास रहेंगे तो शायद अपनी इन्फॉर्मेशन में आप कभी इजाफा नहीं कर पाएंगे. You would never know what the real world is. So when the entire politics and society is dragging us back to our own ghettoized world, they're making you aware of your identity and you're being too assertive about who you are and where you come from, and I am this caste and I'm this religion and I'm this class, I'm an elite or I'm a middle class or I'm a low middle class, or I'm an Indian and that is why I have the purest blood, and so on and so forth. So at this point in time, when there is this entire controversy which is trying to drag you to actually you be more aware of your identity, I would say break the shackles. अपने आसपास की ये दीवारें तोड़िए. ऐसी चीज़ें जानने की कोशिश करिए जो आप अब तक नहीं जानते थे. ऐसे लोगों को जानिए जिन्हें आप नहीं जानते थे. ऐसे राज्यों में जाइए जहाँ आप कभी नहीं गए. ऐसे शहरों में विजिट करिए जो आपने कभी नहीं देखे. अब चाहे वो भारत में हो, भारत के बाहर हो, ऐसे लोगों को जानिए. और शायद यही मेरे ख्याल से एक, नॉट जस्ट जर्नलिज्म, even if you talk about political science, even talk about sociology, even all of these sciences will tell you that the best way to know the world around you, to know yourself, is to go out. आप घर में रहकर कभी भी बाहर, कभी भी अपने आप को नहीं पहचान पाते. आप जब घर से बाहर जाते हैं तब आपको पता चलता है कि आप क्या हैं, आप कौन हैं, आप क्यों हैं. So I think it's very, very important that you guys are aware of yourself, but aware of the world around you, aware of the world outside you. It's very important. It's very important to read the first page, the national news, but it's also important to turn the international page. It's also very important to read different philosophers, sociologists, political scientists, journalists, doctors. So when we say journalism, I can actually teach you how to face a camera. I can actually teach you how to write a good story, but I cannot honestly, very honestly, teach you how to do journalism. You'll have to find your own way out. This is for you to do that.